Space whales? Nope, rather deal with devils. Chapter 72, Fan Fiction by Azazyel. With my meetings over with, I went back to the living quarters of the school, and just the thought of living here at the school reminded me of how I needed those builders to hurry up with the mansion I commissioned between Kuoh and Kyoto. But regardless, I went straight to check in with the Nakano Quintuplets, as they should be up at this point at night. Knocking on the door, I smiled wryly as Itsuki opened the door with a tired expression that meant the girls had just gotten up. And as her eyes tightened with a frown, I decided to nip that sun out of her, by gently cupping her face with one hand while I coated my upper teeth with manna to bite my lower lip to make it bleed as I bent down to pull the busty, shorter girl into a heated blood-soaked kiss. Which set off my vampire familiar senses like a light bulb with her whimpering and leaning into my kiss. I broke the kiss with her, giving me a weak glare, but it was as threatening as a puppy's playful growls, as I spoke more loudly so the girls who were inside could hear me as well. "Ladies, I hope that I can come in and speak with you." Itsuki didn't even get a chance to answer as Yatsuba, the short orange-haired one, ripped the door open from behind Itsuki with her excitedly calling out. "Yup. We were just playing on our phones, hee." I came into the room with a wry smile as Itsuki folded her arms under her large breasts and pouted before I wrapped an arm around her waist and escorted her back into the room, allowing me to see its interior. "Dear gods. You girls need your own bedrooms and a maid." I muttered as I saw that the room, after only a few days, was a complete pig pen of thrown-around clothes and other lady items. Hee. We used to actually have a housekeeper come by every 3 days. So we aren't so used to picking up after ourselves. Yatsuba said sheepishly. I brushed a hand across my face as I considered where I could get a trustworthy maid before I realized I could probably snag one from either Rias or Sona's family. Anyway, I spoke up to change the topic as I could see all 5 of the quintuplets were looking awkward at how messy their rooms were. I gave Ichika, Itsuka, Yatsuba, Miku, and Nino Nakano all measuring looks before I spoke more measuredly as I grabbed one of their chairs to sit in it. "So, girls. How are you physically? Do any of you need more blood?" The girls flushed with Itsuki squirming at the reminder of how I fucked her quite literally into the walls and broke the drywall in the closet I made the contracts with all her sisters. And Yatsuba, who had the weakest contract, raised a hand as she gently caressed her throat and admitted. I've been rather thirsty, Jake." I nodded in understanding with Nino, grimacing and saying quietly. "Me too." The rest of the girls also then admitted the same, with myself raising an eyebrow as I had fed them only a couple of days ago, so I took a breath and said evenly. "I see. Then, I have a couple of days free at the mansion for you all, and the rest of my group is being built. So I suggest we all hang out, and get to know one another better with you girls getting some blood to drink." The girls shared a look with Miku, speaking quietly. "I mean, that's fine." I gave a smile and clapped my hands together as I said. "Good. I would like you all to get along with Mommy and Mash. So let's move to their rooms so we can play a game of Monopoly or something." The girls looked confused at my order, but they followed me as I left their room, and I waved at Momo down the hall as she quickly went into her room to probably avoid Sona, as she had been swamped with paperwork for some reason. "Hey Jake. How was dinner with Yasaka?" Mommy asked curiously as I came into her room, that also had Mash in her room as well, with both girls looking in interest as the 5 vampires followed me. At hearing Mommy's innocent question, my lips twitched as that was a fucking loaded question, wasn't it? "Oh yeah, Mommy, my dear sweetheart. I spent the entire afternoon fucking Yasaka into a puddle of our fluids and ensured my seed took root in her womb with her carrying my child for the future. Just a typical Thursday afternoon, right?" So I just smiled wryly and said, "Yeah. Dinner with Yasaka went very well." I coughed and then continued. "Alright, ladies. I spoke seriously as I looked at the 7 women in the room now. I have a world in mind that we can unlock a power system that will allow us to form a spirit tool that matches our very souls. And although it will require us to pop back into the world every few months or years to get something called a spirit ring that will make us stronger, it is the best path for us to become stronger as a whole. The world of Dolu Dalu was the most popular cultivation world for a reason. And that was because its cultivation system was literally a number system going from 1 to 100, with each 10 levels allowing you to get a spirit ring that would give your spirit tool a special ability. Like if Mash went there and unlocked her spirit tool. She would no doubt have a shield, and in time, the shield tool spirit would become even more powerful than Galahad's shield. So the world had some major points going for it. 1. A path to a low-tier cultivation godhood that was based on elevating the soul primarily, which was perfectly fine, as the body could be enhanced through other methods far more easily. 2. Provides everyone with literally soul-matching martial spirits, which were tools, weapons, armor, or enhancements for combat or making themselves stronger. 3. It pointedly had their stupidly powerful, divine, cultivators in a higher realm, and not paying attention to the lower realm. All these things culminated in something very important. We would get martial souls that would forever get more powerful the stronger our souls were. And seeing as I already was planning to be immortal and whatnot, having something that could grow in power alongside me was perfect. After explaining the information on the world of Dolua Dalu/Soul Land, Ichika looked between her sisters and spoke up. It sounds like a good idea. Being able to defend ourselves is. She visibly paused before swallowing, with Nino speaking up. It's something we need to do. We don't want to lose another member of our family. With all 5 of the sisters nodding firmly at the reminder of their vampire sire, who killed their father, who managed to track them down via their cell phone signal. Mash, on the other hand, shyly raised a hand and asked. Will I be able to get a martial soul even with myself being a homunculus? To which I chuckled and said. Even monsters who evolve and are reborn as humans can get martial souls. So yes. Also. I was down bad for Gu Yuna and Bibi Dong, honestly. I had no shame in that.